Are you ready to explore the unseen? From the depths of the soul to the vastness of the cosmos, we're diving into the extraordinary. Mediumship, astrology, spirituality, the paranormal, and more. Welcome to your bridge to the other side. Now join us as we unravel the mysteries of the universe, one question at a time, with your host, Kat Walker.
Hello, beautiful spirits. I'm Kat Walker, psychic, medium, mystic, and your bridge builder between the worlds. Welcome to your bridge to the other side, where we're going to explore the seen, the unseen, and everything in between. Today, we're stepping into something really special, and it's the Akashic Records. You may or may not have heard about the Akashic Records yet. But if you've ever wondered whether your soul has its own library, its own history, or its own roadmap, you're going to love this. Today, I'm joined by my guest and a good friend of mine, Bettina Norman, an Akashic Record practitioner and teacher who helps people access their soul stories and divine wisdom. We're going to demystify what the records are, how they work, and how you can begin exploring your own connections. So let's get into it. Don't worry, you don't need any library cards for this. Just open maybe a cup of tea, or in my case, maybe wine. So let me tell you a little bit about Bettina. Bettina is a mystic and a teacher, and she's a visionary, and she's dedicated to guiding others through the shadows of their own light. As a certified master Akashic Record Reader and teacher, Bettina has offered hundreds of readings, touching lives locally and across international borders. Welcome, Bettina. I'm so happy to have you here.
Welcome. Well, thank you so much for welcoming me. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I'm excited to have you.
Oh.
And I will readily admit I am not an expert at the Akashic Records, so you're going to be educating me as well as everybody else.
I'm going to try.
Okay. So let's dig into it a little bit, because a lot of people don't understand the Akashic Records. So for those hearing about the Akashic Records for the first time, how would you describe what they are without using too much woo-woo jargon?
That's a good question. I do it all the time. A lot of times when people come to my table at a fair, I usually give them what the Akashic Records are in a nutshell. And usually what I say is, if you believe in multiple lives or reincarnation, just imagine from the inception of your soul, when your soul was created by God, creator, depending on your belief system, up until this very moment, everything your soul has ever experienced, every thought, every deed, every lesson, every lifetime is stored what we call the Akash. And so your whole existence is like a library, and then each life you ever had is like a book. So that's kind of as basic as I can explain it.
Well, I find it kind of interesting, because I know for me it was a little difficult in the beginning, because it sounds very 3D to have a library. Can you kind of explain that a little bit to people? Because it's hard to wrap my mind around going into a library that's in spirit, so to speak.
So yeah, I mean, it's easier to say it's a library, but it's really an energetic library. That's where your energy, when you leave your body in one lifetime, you kind of float or pass through a very sensitive energy grid that kind of encompasses the planet, and you leave all your impressions in that energy grid. So it's all about energy. It's not really a place where we can go to. It's just the way I describe it.
Okay.
But it's like an energetic library where we leave our impressions.
Well, do you think everybody has the ability to access their own records, or does it require a certain level of training or vibration?
So everybody has the ability to access their records. And usually students of mine, they usually ask me, well, what if I can't access the records, or what if I can't learn it? And that's really not how it works. Everybody can access the records. Everybody can learn how to do it. It's just that not everybody is called to do it. It's the same when, everybody can learn how to play the piano or the guitar, but not everybody wants to learn it. Sometimes people just want to sit and listen to a concert or piano players. And that's the same with us. Sometimes people just want to come for a reading and they don't want to learn to do it themselves. So yes, everybody can access it. I can teach anybody how to do it, but not everybody feels called to do this work.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Do you think that it's easier for some people to learn than others? Maybe somebody who's further along the metaphysical trail of learning metaphysical things, or say, for instance, somebody who's new to metaphysical things would they have a more difficult time?
They would maybe have a little bit more of a difficult time, but only because they have to learn some other things first.
Okay.
So you and I were very experienced in what the clairs are. We talk about spirit all the time, and spirit tells me this, and spirit tells me that. And sometimes people don't know what is spirit. What do you define as spirit? What are the clairs? And as a medium, that it's usually about feelings or something about knowing or seeing things in your mind's eye. And you and I, we know this, but this is something a lot of times I have to teach somebody who's very new to this. And they're like, I don't know how to visualize. I don't know how to receive the messages. So it may be a little bit more difficult for somebody who is completely new to metaphysics versus somebody who has been doing readings for a long time, because they already know what they're tapping into, or what energy is, or what's their strong clair, and so forth.
Do you actually do workshops or classes in this to help teach people?
I do. I have not done workshops. It's hard to do workshops because you either teach people how to do the Akashic Records, or you just talk about it the way we just do it here. I have done a little bit of not a workshop, but more like an info gallery where I've talked about it. And yes, then I do classes as well.
Okay.
And then once somebody takes a class and finishes the class, they are a certified reader, so they can go out and do readings for others.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Mhm.
Where does the word Akashic come from, and what does it actually mean?
So the word Akash is actually a Sanskrit word, and it means from where it all came. So basically, if our existence is a library, or if everything is stored in this energetic field, so you can kind of think of that when we access the Akash, this is where everything is stored. It's the universal knowledge of everything. So that's why it's called the Akash, and that's where it all comes from. That's where all the knowledge comes from that we use.
This might be a little off track, but if we're looking at the soul's journey, and we're talking about different timelines, and I don't think you and I have discussed this before, but is my future cat in there too?
Absolutely. We can tap into future possibilities, yes.
Now, so take, for instance, okay, time is illusionary.
Mm-hmm.
On some other level, am I already completed?
In a different timeline, probably, yes.
Okay. So say, would you have access to the whole picture?
We do. The Akash gives, or the Akasha gives a whole picture. So yes, because since you just said in a different timeline, some things have already happened, obviously it would affect you in this timeline as well. And so, but those are all possibilities because you are currently in this timeline and not in a different timeline, if that makes sense. So it's, there are possibilities, but you still have free will.
Okay, so things are not written in stone.
They're never written in stone. So the Akashic Records are not prescriptive and not predictive. So what that means is they will not give you a formula to go by to get a certain outcome. So they can't, they would never say do this and that, and then you will have the result you want. So the Akashic Records, they're here for wisdom and guidance. And so they can say, if you go this way, if you take this job and you move out of the state, this is your possibility. But if you stay here, or if you go to maybe the East Coast instead, then this is your possibility. So it's not about giving you a prescription of life, because you're here to learn and you're here to experience. And the Akashic Records is for wisdom and guidance.
Okay. I get asked quite often by clients, what is their purpose for this lifetime? Is that something that can be found in the records?
Absolutely. Yes. And that's usually what I do. I would say 99% of all people that come to me find their purpose when they have a reading with me, or not just with me, but it's usually if that's what they're asking. So the thing is this, you can ask it's like if you ask your soul anything, what would it be? Okay. And so when we tap into your Akashic Records or your energy, you're literally asking your own soul all these questions. So it's not me, I'm just the messenger. And so, yes, because your soul already knows the blueprint of this lifetime, and your soul knows the purpose, that you kind of figured out in a soul contract before you incarnated into this lifetime. So yes, 99% of people who ask me about this, they will get an answer to what their purpose is here in life. Yes.
Will it show them whether they achieve this purpose in this lifetime? Or, like you said, it's not predictive.
It's not predicted, no. But I mean, we'll never stop learning. So it's really not, either we're on the path of our purpose or we're not, or we're getting on the path, but we're really never fulfilled our purpose. That's just my personal belief. Okay. We're learning as long as we live in this human body. So our purpose really never ends. And that's actually something I'm getting from Spirit right now. So that's what they want us to know. Our purpose never ends. So it's not, we come here, we do one thing, and then we're done. Our purpose is what we do, our whole lives. That makes sense.
Are you talking about this lifetime though?
Yes.
Okay, this lifetime.
Mm-hmm. The lifetime that they're asking me about.
Okay. All right. So it can get a little confusing.
Yeah.
What kind of information can someone expect to find in their records? Like, would it be past lives, current challenges, soul contracts? We know those are important.
Yeah.
All the above. What can they expect?
So it's more like, what can they not get? And that's almost nothing. So, and by that, I mean, the Akashic Records it's the universal knowledge of everything. So now the one thing I have to say is, when I open someone's records, I do talk to their spirit guides and their angels or archangels, whoever wants to show up for them in that moment when I do the reading. And really, their spirit guides, they really not dictate, but they show me what it is that they need them to know. So it's not, how do I explain this? They will tell that person what is good for them to know at that moment, if that makes sense. It's a snippet in their timeline, a snippet in what they're needing to know right now. And so I cannot really force the information, because the information comes from the Akash, the information comes from their spirit guides. And they decide what is good for, if I would do a reading for you, your spirit guides would decide what's good for Kat Walker to know at this point in her life. Okay. And
I'm going through a transition. A lot of people are going through transitions right now. So I'm getting these questions a lot.
I understand.
So Spirit would come through with questions likely for the transitions, where somebody is right now, where they're, what's going on. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What is not in the Akashic Records? For instance, I don't know. Do we have like an ultimate soul purpose that can be looked at in the Akashic Records, not just this lifetime, but for the complete growth of our souls? Is that something that is there, and is it something, if it is there, that would be allowed to be accessed?
So the answer, the basic answer is yes. So it's all in there. And when you ask me what's not in the Akashic Records, what I'm getting from Spirit right now is like, there's really nothing that's not in there. It's just a matter of them allowing the information to come in. So I think there is a bigger soul purpose for each and every one of us. And a lot of times when I do readings for someone, I figure it out because we all have patterns. Or at least that's what I noticed. So for me, for example, when I look at my past lifetimes, I've always been somebody who has been a mystic. Okay. And maybe in different lifetimes, it's been called something different. Maybe I was a high priestess. Maybe I was a village elder. Maybe I was a witch at some point, but it's always been very mystic. So we do have patterns, going through lifetimes. So I really think that our mission, I don't know everything because, unless we go to the other side, we don't really know everything, but we're here to figure it out. But I believe that, our patterns are always the same. That's what I think, in different lifetimes. But based on the time or the era where we're born into, our mission may be changing based on what's needed. So that's what I think.
That's interesting to me. Would you say then that some people might never have a spiritual mission?
I have met people who don't have a mission in this lifetime, but I call it a vacation lifetime. I think
In
a
what
lot of a,
lifetime?
a
Oh,
vacation,
vacation.
a
Yes.
vacation lifetime. I think
Yeah.
that really happens where we're not here to have a purpose, but maybe we're just here to just hang out. Go to the beaches, maybe enjoy a little bit, but we don't really have a purpose. We're just taking a vacation. I really believe that exists as well.
Well, I think after maybe this lifetime, some of us need to go to the beach next time.
Oh, I'm right with you.
Well, this might be a really good stopping point for us
Okay,
today. I think it's a good place. We've talked about how to open them and what we're stepping inside to with Bettina, and what happens during the reading. So why don't we end this for today? And we're going to come back and we're going to go on with learning more about the Akashic Records. And eventually, Bettina's even going to do a little reading for me too, so people
sure.
can get a flavor for what that is about. But remember, the records aren't hiding from you. They're waiting for you to, and they're waiting for you to be ready. So we're going to see you at the next chapter of this. And I hope that y'all stay tuned. My information and Bettina's will be at the bottom of this. If you're interested in getting a reading from Bettina or contacting her, you'll have that information. And we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Namaste.